Hello nerds, dorks, and pores. I'm here to talk to you about a new gun. I'm Uncle Guns. Join me as we talk about the Walther P5. West Germany felt the impact of a terrorist attack during the '72 Olympics. This conflict that we're currently in is not something that's new or something that's just, popped up in the last couple years. But Germany was caught with their pants down.
What? My pants fell down!
And found out that, we're not completely equipped to deal with terrorists.
You're not equipped to, honey.
So, unfortunately, most West German police were issued this weapon, which is a Walther P38. Great design, served from World War II on up through the 70s. You can find some P1s that were even into the 80s. But this was basically the maximum technology after the de-armament of Germany after World War II. We'll talk about this in a later video. This is a spree work P38. Lots of interesting design features that this gun translated then into the Beretta 92 and then summarily our Walther P5. Following World War II, there was a call for a new police sidearm that would be easily deployed and used in a more urban environment and designed closer for hostage situations.
Are you being held hostage?
Something that would be easier for the police to use and also safer for the police to use, and the fact that they might get into a conflict and have some type of hand-to-hand combats.
Sorry, misfire.
German police force in West Germany was very concerned about the safety aspect and the ease of use and deployment of these pistols. One of these being this little bad boy here, probably the rarest of them. The P5, the P6, which was 6 hours development, and then also the HK P7. So you got 5, 6, and 7.
So many.
The HK we'll talk about in a later video.
Thank God.
This basically copied all of the P38's proven design features and added some more ergonomic and useful features to this gun to bring it into use in modern times.
It's so modern.
As we look at the left-hand side of the gun, we have decocker slide release and the takedown lever. This is a little bit later model with the more Western push-button mag release on the side of the gun. This used some interesting things that we'll look at as we break it down on the workbench. But as far as the history of this goes, this was designed out of the ashes of 1972 Olympic terrorist attack and saw some relatively good service. Not a ton of these were made and they weren't accepted really widely. This is the most rare of the policing pistols, so you could say that this was kind of the loser end of the trials guns that were submitted.
A loser!
But definitely not a loser design, because this gun shoots awesome and it is designed a lot of the same parts that the P38 did, as far as the locking block mechanism, tilt lock mechanism. It definitely is more safe than the P38 with a moving firing pin.
You make me feel safe.
A decocker, which P38s had. This one just made it a little bit easier, ease of use. No safety on this.
Where is the safety? Exactly.
Manual safety like the P38 had. They got rid of that, giving it a lot more ease of use and deployment. You had the ability to just draw the gun and start firing.
Pew, pew.
Awesome weapon. Let's take it to the table and look some more. Before, this P38 is the grandfather to this design, the Walther P5. In order to take this down, you have the takedown lever here that you move forward. The slide comes off, the barrel and the locking lug come out, and you have that tilt lock design. It keeps the barrel in line instead of the Browning design that tilts the barrel down, aiding into the feed of the chamber. This doesn't require that, as it keeps the barrel and the slide together for a moment after the round has exited the chamber. The dual recoil lugs you can see in this frame, and I'll keep this apart because we'll refer back to it in the P5's design, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As most things in the 80s, black little boxes from Inner Arms meant surplus, meant awesomeness, meant, well, cheap guns.
Totally rad.
This was probably a relatively cheap gun back in the 80s whenever it was released to the commercial public. And there's only 6,500 of these that exist, so that is a pretty small number, relatively rare gun to run across.
It's so rare in life.
Its price is continuing to go up. We can see the decocking lever that I talked about earlier, that you can decock this pistol very easily with your thumb. This also acts as part of the safety features of the P5. This has a stack-on sight system that was very popular back in the 70s and 80s. The rear sight does have the ability to adjust with windage.
Very windy up here!
We have a modern thumb release magazine, and you can see that the magazine is very similar. And in fact, earlier models used P38 magazines. They had a heel release like the P38 does, a double extended trigger guard. This was probably to aid with gloves in the use of those.
A glove?
Taking this pistol apart is very similar to the same way that you take a P38 apart. You just move the disassembly lever forward, the slide comes off. Significantly smoother than the P38.
So smooth.
Oh, incredibly smooth.
But you can see the design. The design is almost identical as far as the locking mechanism goes with the falling block. You can see that retained in the Beretta 92. You can note the front German fashion. There's Walther, the serial number, 9x19, just a bunch of information that I guess the person on the other end of the receiving end of the barrel would be able to read at their very last moment.
Say hello to my little friend!
Basically, P38 and P5, similar frame designs, almost identical. You do have the ejector here. You do have some improvements on the trigger mechanism, making this a little bit nicer. Big advent difference in the P1s had this, which was the later model of the P38, but aluminum alloy frame. So like this is all steel, this is aluminum alloy. You can definitely tell the difference very quickly.
Aluminum!
Bakelite plastic grips that you find on P38s, wood grips sometimes, those were all done away with. A lot of this black Zytel plastic polymer is used, and on a lot of these commercial pistols you do see some of the leasing pistols that use the wood paneled grips. Fairly simple design to maintain and take care of, which is again something that you need whenever you have a policing or a military pistol.
Where's my gun?
Snaps back into place, very quickly. You have a little bit of a witnessing mark as opposed to the P38 where you can basically push it out. Which is cool about this gun and this design is that when you pull this hammer back, or when the hammer is back, it's still not in a fire position. So when you put this decocker forward, the firing pin actually doesn't line up with the primer till the very last second that the trigger is pulled. So if we can look right down here, firing pin moves into position at the very last moment, making this a perfectly safe pistol, just like the PSP P7 HK, where you had to squeeze cock. Each one of these designers came up with a different way to deal with the specification that it had to be perfectly safe. So interesting design feature. You don't see that on a lot of other pistols. I believe the SIG, the P6, has the same design.
Exactly the same.
This gun came whenever it was released into the market with a test target.
Because I have got to shoot some targets.
We can see a lot of test targets now are, very small, and you've got lots of really nice centered groups. You could see that this is basically saying you could hit a person.
You shot me.
You've even got one that's straight outside of the big circle, but this was acceptable in the 80s whenever it was developed. There's so few of these made that they actually didn't even print up a part of C models, the compact models. Most of them were just P5 models, so you see the P5 and somebody hand wrote the C and then the serial number to this one.
Creative.
Hi, so we're here on the range. We're gonna do a little shooting with the P5 compact. I'm gonna shoot it with the hammer down.
Put that hammer down.
Like they would have drawn the weapon. Kind of get the accuracy at 25 yards, and then we'll go up to 7 yards and shoot it there at the protection distance. So, like I said, it's just normal magazine with this one, no heel, which makes it nice. I'm going to decock it. I'll use gloves. It's cold out here today, but it will definitely make it more authentic, you know, police gloves, da-da-da-da-da. So at 25 yards, you could see our shot placement, you know, would have been more than lethal center mass.
I've been shot already.
Pretty good shot placement here. I don't know what these two outliers are, but you could see that, you know, at 25 yards, that's a pretty respective thing with a thing that only has a barrel. It's a couple inches long. So, I mean, it's a really nice shooting, really soft recoil. I'm sure if I held it tighter or, you know, didn't have gloves on or something like that.
Better luck next time.
This is the first magazine that I've put through this, so it's not like I've sat here and practiced it a bunch, but that's really good, respected for, you know, what I think at 25 yards should be.
Sure.
So now we're at 7 yards. This is be like defense distance, 21 feet, whatever you want to say. But we'll see how this P5 compact operates at a shorter distance. Again, from double action, I'll be shooting from double action, 7 yards.
What are you waiting for?
Oh, finally.
At 7 yards with this gun, you could see how close the groups can get with this. Again, this is the second magazine I put through this gun. Really, really nice shooter. Really well balanced. I could see why this would be, you know, a favorite to carry. It's compact, it's easy to conceal. They did a really nice job on this gun.
It's really nice.
Thanks for joining me another week with Uncle Guns to learn and discuss about this Walther P5 compact. I'd appreciate it if you go down and like, subscribe, comment. Join us next week as we find something else to talk about. I'm Uncle Guns, signing off.